She should take
Here we go.
something with her. Like,
All right.
it's like proof.
I guess.
I always like to have proof. Shit like this.
Okay. I think we are ready to get going, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to be behind here because I've got people on here. I'm normally, if you don't, I'm normally a pacer and I walk the entire class, but it's probably better that I just stay back here anyway for social distancing purposes. So, but I've got several people that are joining me on Teams today. So I need to be back here so I can switch screens and stuff as I need to for them. Okay. So I'm going to call roll again real quick just because I don't know everybody yet. And it may take me a little bit longer than usual because I can only see half your face. So it may take me a little bit longer than usual to learn names. But we are going to be moving seats today. Okay, we're not going to be moving seats today. For sanitary reasons, we won't. But I will. What I'll do is I'll assign seats today, so you'll know where to sit the next time you come in. Okay, because I am putting you in groups today. But yeah, for today, we probably better just stay where we are. Oh my gosh, this is so different, guys. I'm used to just everybody getting up, getting their stuff, and we move in our seats and we go all these places, and it's just so weird. Okay, Benjamin, I know is not going to be here. Okay, and Jack as well. Okay, Andrew. All right. Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel and Gabe. Okay, that's fine. Alex. And McKinley. Ethan Fry. Okay. And John. Okay. And Jay, it's Jaya. Is that right? Okay, Jaya. Okay. And Carmen. Okay. And Jaria. And let's see. And Robert is online with me. Ethan hasn't joined us online though.
I'm here, ma'am. I'm with Graham.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you're just with one of those guys. Okay, perfect. All right, because it just didn't. It says you're not there, so that's cool. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, Adam. All right, and Gabe. And Kylie. And Selassie. All right. Yasmin. Okay. Mason. All right. And Haley. There she is. Josh. Okay. And Jackson. Okay. And Graham is on here. And James joined. And is it Carson? Okay. Great. Is there anybody else that I haven't called? I think this class has dropped and added more the people than I have done in a very long time. So I want to make sure I've got the roll straight. Okay, good. All right. So thank you to everybody who got your homework in and who's already logged on to the simulation. If you haven't done that, that's okay. You can do that today or tomorrow. You can get on the simulation and get yourself logged in. Remember though, if you haven't received a welcome email that says like Biz Cafe or Interpretive is the name of the company. If you haven't received a welcome email, let me know so that I can make sure that they can resend that to you so that you can get into the simulation. But everybody should have gotten that. Okay. Let me get us back on here. Okay. All right. So today we are going to spend most of our day kind of getting acquainted with the coffee business. Okay. So as we talked about on Monday, you're going to be running your own coffee shop here, simulated, but you're going to be running your own coffee shop throughout this course. And so I thought we should probably familiarize ourselves with the coffee business. You may think you know something about coffee. You may have even worked at Starbucks or a local coffee shop or something like that. And that's great if you've done that. But I'm assuming that most of us haven't done that. And you may like coffee, but that may be the extent of what you know about coffee. And so if we're going to actually start a business, where you're going to be dealing with the public and making recommendations for coffee and that sort of thing, and making decisions about where to source your coffee, how much to price your coffee, and those sorts of things, I think it's really important that we know something about the coffee business. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to watch a video that is going to talk to us about the supply chain of coffee. So when we talk about the supply chain, guys, that's a business term that you will hear. It's basically like beginning to end, okay? So how does coffee get from the coffee plant that it grows on all the way to the Starbucks in the library where you can go get your Frappuccino when you need a caffeine kick, right? So that's the supply chain. Is whose hands is it passing through? Who's making money? How does it get from one country to another country? All of that is involved in our supply chain for coffee. So I've got a short video that we're going to watch, and guys, you will be able to see it too, I promise. So just give me a second, okay? Oops, like it wasn't playing earlier, so I let it go, and then it. Okay. Let's make sure the speakers are supposed to be working this time. Checked everything. So, oh, great. Now I rewound it and it decides to spin again. Okay, let's give it a second. While it's doing that, is everybody able to connect to the Wi-Fi today that's got their laptops up? Still not? Okay, is it just over here? Everybody else is able to get on? Because they came and checked it, I know. So it's probably your account. So we'll have to get that figured out. Oh, come on. What is this doing? Okay. I don't usually have trouble with videos in here. There we go. Now, what's going on with the volume here? No, it's all the way up. Maybe the speaker is not loud enough. Okay, I came in here and purposely checked this yesterday, and everything was fine. Great. Sorry. It was playing YouTube videos perfectly for me. This has just been such a great semester so far as far as this stuff goes. All right, why it's external speakers. I'm not sure why it's not liking that. Make sure this isn't muted. No, all the way up. Oh, good grief. Anybody else have any ideas? I am at a complete loss on this one. Just don't know why it's not working. Well, I tell you what, one thing we can do, we can watch the video and I'll just we may not watch the whole thing, but I can kind of talk you through the process. And so you won't get to hear what they're doing, but I can at least tell you what you're seeing. So let me get this on the screen for our online people so they can see it with us, and I will back up. So we'll just kind of talk through the process without that. All right. We're just having to be very, very flexible now. Okay. Guys online, can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. All right. So if you didn't know, coffee grows on a plant. Trying to get this on full screen. Doesn't seem to want to do that either. Great. Okay. And it is the area that coffee grows at. We're going to look at on a map in just a little bit. But coffee grows only in very, very hot places. Okay, so we're going to look at the kind of the belt on the map about where coffee grows. So a lot of coffee is grown by individual farmers. And you saw, I think, let me go back just a little bit so you can see the coffee bean again. Why is it not doing full screen for me? Which is crazy. Okay. Apologize if you can't see it extremely well. I was hoping that you would be able to. But you can see, hopefully, that this is what a coffee bean looks like. It's a little red berry. Is actually what it is. So the coffee bean itself is actually inside the berry. So coffees are actually like cherry seeds. So if you were to pit a cherry, you've got the little seed inside of it. That's what coffee is. The coffee beans actually are. They grow inside those little coffee cherries, the little berries that you saw. So I did not know that. I guess I always thought that it was just the coffee beans growing on the trees, but it's actually the berries. And then you have to separate the coffee beans out of the berries, and they do that with some special equipment that actually kind of it's like pitting a cherry. Okay, so they get the coffee beans out, and then there's a big process where they have to wash those. You can see they're washing them right there. They wash the beans for a while, several different times, and then they have to be set out to dry. So after they've taken them out of the berries, they wash them, and then they get kind of laid out in the sun, and they dry. And so now they look like they're what you just saw was the beans, and they're sort of they're almost white when they're first when they're washed and they're laid out, and then they get rid of all of those berries. The red stuff is the berries, and those are gone. Okay. All right. So let's fast forward a little bit here, since we're not getting to hear the commentary. So here's where they're going to dry them. So they're laying them out in the sun there, and you can see that they're very light colored at this point, and they're dry. And then, so here's, so now we have a lot of beans all put together there. And if you've ever seen like a full coffee bean, you know that that's not the color. And of course, even if you just open up a can of coffee, you know that that's not the color that coffee is, right? It's a very dark brown color. And that's because once it looks like that, then it's roasted. Okay, so let's see if we can find the roasting. Let's see. So it's in these big sacks. It gets shipped. And then the final step is, okay, so here's where they're roasting the coffee. And the amount that it's roasted is what influences the flavor the most. So who likes their coffee like really dark? Who likes strong coffee? You don't like coffee. Okay, don't like coffee in general. That's okay. I like mine like really strong, okay? So that means it needs to be roasted longer to get that, to make it strong. So if you like yours a little weaker, then it wouldn't be roasted quite as long. Okay, so the roasting process is what brings out the flavor. It brings out the coffee oil. And then the last thing is that it's going to be ground. And then you can go buy it, ground, or you can grind it yourself. And you can go, or you could go to Starbucks and they will have it for you. Okay, so I apologize that didn't work. But that's basically the coffee supply chain, is that it's going to come from a country. The only place in the United States where any coffee is grown at all is Hawaii. So most of our coffee is is certainly imported. So it's coming from typically a country in a tropical region, and it gets all the way over to us. But that's the basic idea of how we get coffee. Okay. All right. So let's look at a coffee map. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so let me share this with our online folks. All right. Can you guys see that? Graham, Robert, Ethan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Oh, come on. Let's just look at it this way. Okay. So basically, this band here around the equator is where coffee can grow. Okay, so you got to have a really warm climate to grow coffee. So the coffee map, which I'll share with you guys on Connect. They've broken it down into the Americas, so mostly South America. And Africa has a number of countries where you can grow coffee. And then Asia also has a number of countries where you can grow coffee. Interestingly enough, they lump Hawaii into Asia and not the Americas. And my guess is that that's because of the type that
Excuse me, Professor.
yeah, go ahead. Yes. Sorry, they're talking to me. Yeah.
We can't see
ahead.
the
Thing anymore.
we can't see the map
You
anymore.
can't see the coffee map. Okay.
It
Give me
disappeared.
1 second and all right, let's get it back. Sorry, if I'm talking to somebody who hasn't answered me, it's because they're inside my head. So you guys don't think too badly of me. Okay, can you hear it? Can you see it now?
Yes,
Yep,
ma'am.
perfect. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Okay, so anyway, the reason I think they lump Hawaii into the Asia is just the taste of the coffee, not because they thought that Hawaii was actually in Asia. Okay. So one of the decisions that you're going to have to make about your coffee is you're going to have to decide where to source your coffee from. Now, obviously, Starbucks gets coffee from any number of countries up here, but I'm going to ask you to choose one country basically for your coffee shop. Where are you going to source your coffee from? So we're going to be looking at that today in just a few minutes. All right. See, you already got some ideas. Okay. So, well, gosh, no, that's not working. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I really do want you in your groups today. So I think, now how to work this. Eventually, you're each going to have your own channel on Teams, so you're going to be able to work remotely together. I only created a channel for my online people today because I was thinking that they were the only ones that were going to need it. If you will, and I apologize, guys. I know this is awkward, but I really want you working in your teams first thing today. If you will, go ahead and collect your stuff and just stand up at your place. Okay, so just take it off the desk and stand up, if you don't mind. And I'm sorry about this. I just did not think ahead of time about it because I'm used to just moving around. So I'm going to clean the desk and then I'm going to move you guys, okay? So you'll be going to a nice clean desk, but stay where you are so that nobody's like unsocial distanced, okay? Ew, these desks are dirty. We need to add about an hour to each class time just for dealing with all this new stuff, right? Seriously. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your patience. You guys really are being so patient, and I appreciate it. And guys online, I'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes, okay? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so almost there. Nope, these are all dirty. Ones. I'm really glad they put these in here. Almost there. And you'll get to find out who your teammates are. I know you're excited about that. Couple more. All right, I think that's every space clean that had people at it. All right, so teams. Okay, you guys still with me online? Graham?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, so you guys are a team. I thought that would be the easiest thing to do. So Ethan, Robert, and Graham, you guys are a team, okay?
All right, sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
I will, okay, and I'll show you how you guys are gonna, if you're not all, are you guys all in the same place right now?
No.
Yeah, okay, I'll show you how you're gonna work. You'll be fine, okay? All right. Okay, team 2. Okay, and let me say real quick, and I'm sorry, I know you're standing. So each team is basically 3 people, and then I have 1 team of 4 because we have 25 people, okay? In the teams, there are 3 roles, and I'll explain what the roles are in just a second. But basically, there is our CEO, our Chief Executive Officer, our Vice President for Marketing, and our Chief Financial Officer, okay? And so I've already assigned those based on your personality quizzes that you guys did for today. All right. So team 2, let's see. Let me just kind of think about how many people I have and where we're going to have to sit. Okay. So I'm going to put team 2 in these 2 seats and then that seat in the back. Okay. So if you guys would you guys move up to the, yeah, that's okay. Just these 3 people. You guys kind of move up here, but don't stand too close. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I need Alex, Carmen, and Andrew. So you guys can, the 3 of you can sit anywhere you want, but like in this little triangle here, okay? So Alex, Carmen, and Andrew, you guys are a team. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so let's see. And then I'll do, the next team is gonna be these 2 seats and that seat, okay? So that's gonna be Jaya, Mason, and Haley. Jaya, Mason, and Haley here. All right. Team 4, we'll do those 2 and then the next one back. So that's going to be James, John, and Jackson. Ooh, that's my J team. Okay, James, John, and Jackson, you guys are going to be back here. All right, so let's come back and start this way. All right, so the next team will be these 2 seats and this back one back here. And that's going to be Yasmin, Ethan Fry, and Josh. So here. Okay, the next team will be these 2 seats and then that one, and that's going to be Carson, Kylie, and Gabe. Okay. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Okay, so the next 2 and then one back is going to be Jack, who's not here, Adam, and McKinley. So 2 seats here and then one back. So Adam and McKinley, I think, are here. You guys can sit. Okay, and then my last team, I think this is my last team. So just kind of maybe 2 and 2 in the back there. It's going to be Gabriel, Benjamin, Selassie, and Jaria. And Benjamin's not here, I know. So cool. All right. Thank you for making that work extremely well. You guys did awesome. Thank you so much. All right. I apologize for not in my head, not realizing before class that that was going to be an issue that we all had to move, right? Okay, but this is where you will sit for the rest of the semester. So that will at least make things easier. Okay, and I will give you some time to go ahead and exchange numbers with your group members and everything at the end if you want to go ahead and do that. You really won't be working outside of class together for a while, but you still, if you would like to do that, you can. Okay, so just give me 1 second and we will have our next. Actually, why don't you do that right now? Talk to each other, get to know each other for a second, stay socially distanced, and I will be with you guys in just a second.
Is
Hey
me and Ethan on the same group?
Okay. Yeah, it's Robert, Graham, and Ethan. You guys are all in the same group, and you should see on our Teams, guys, there's a channel I already have set up for you. You can work in that channel anytime you need to, and it'll just be the 3 of you, and only the 3 of you can access that channel. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, so go ahead. So we're going to go into that in just a minute. So see what you can do, play around with it today. I have not been in a channel to like do stuff yet. So you just do the best you can do today to kind of figure it out, I guess. Okay.
Oh.
Hey, what you looking for? This is Management 2200. This is Management 2200. No, sorry. Okay, guys. Hopefully you've had a chance to kind of get to know each other for a few minutes. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to tell you what your role is in each group. And I'm going to post the roles as well on Connect so that if you forget what your role, there are a lot of responsibilities that each role has on each team. And so I will post that so that you know. But for right now, and again, if you forget, it's no big deal. I'll let you know. But just so that you know what your role is going to be. So for my guys online, my mic and my earpiece. Okay. So for my guys online, the CEO, which is the team captain, is going to be Graham. And my CSO is going to be Ethan. And my marketing VP is Robert. Okay. For team 2, Carmen is going to be your CEO. Andrew is going to be VP of marketing and Alex will be CFO. Okay, for team 3, my CEO is Jaya. My VP of marketing is Mason and my CFO is Haley. Okay. For team 4, my CEO is James. My CFO is Jackson and my marketing VP is John. For team 5, Yasmin is my CEO. Ethan is my CFO and Josh is my marketing VP. For team 6, Carson is my CEO. Kylie is my marketing VP and Gabe is CFO. Okay. Team 7, see this team over here. Adam is CEO. Jack will be the marketing VP and McKinley will be CFO. And my last group, my CEO is Gabriel. Benjamin, who is not here, will be the CFO. And then Selasi and Jaria, you guys will be splitting VP marketing duties, okay? Because there's going to be 4 in your group. So, okay. So captains, you don't have a tremendous amount of responsibility. My CEOs, I'm not asking you to do way more than anybody else. This is a team effort in every respect. When we get to the simulation, you'll have kind of like one extra duty beyond what everybody else does, and I'll talk to you about that when we get there. But again, that's going to be a little while. Okay. All right. So for today, What I want you to do, and I'm going to put the coffee map back up here for a second, and I'm also going to put it on Connect so that you can access it on your laptop if you would like to see it. What I want you to do is I want you to pick a country from each of the 3 color schemes that they have on there. So one country from the Americas, one from Asia, and one from Africa. And I want you to research a couple of things about that particular country and their coffee, and I'll tell you what those are in just a second. And then based on that, the 3 of you, once you've got your research done, the 3 of you need to decide which of those 3 countries you're going to source your coffee from. Okay, so you're going to do some research first, and then once you finish that, you're going to decide, okay, we're going to choose Ethiopia. That's where we're going to get our coffee. Or we're going to choose Guatemala. That's where we're going to get our coffee. Okay, so you're going to pick 3 countries, one from each of the, so one blue country, one red country, one yellow country. And then you could split the research. That's totally fine. Each one of you can take one of those. And then you can decide, nope, this is the country that we like the best, that we think the coffee is going to be the best from. And that's the one we're going to go with. And it is kind of an important decision, guys, because I've actually had teams who've built their whole coffee shop around the theme of their country. So, for instance, I had a team that picked Hawaii as where they were going to source their coffee. And they ended up calling their cafe like Paradise Cafe, and then their whole theme was like a Hawaiian theme. So it is kind of an important decision about where you're going to source your coffee from. So let me get that map up for you. I think you guys can probably still see it, but I'm going to get it up for the rest of the group on Connect. So it's kind of hard to see up here. So I'd really rather you be able to see it on Connect. All right, so give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so if you're on Connect and you're on the introduction page, if you hit refresh and go down to the bottom, you can see it. If you aren't there, just click on the introduction page on Connect, go down to the very bottom, and you should be able to see your coffee map. And so it's a little bit easier to see on there, I think, than it is to see up here. But I will go ahead and put it back up here as well. That way, and I'm going to okay, you guys at home, you should be able to see it on Connect as well. But I'll go ahead and reshare it also. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see that now. So for instance, you might decide to pick Ethiopia as your red, Colombia as your blue, and Papua New Guinea as your yellow. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, is just pick one country from each of those to do some research on. All right, and basically what I want you to do is I want you to look at, if you can find the information, how are the farmers treated in that country, basically? Are they treated fairly? Do they get a fair price for their coffee? Or are they pretty much exploited? Okay, so how are the farmers treated? And then what is that particular coffee known for? Okay, so for instance, if you choose Ethiopian, what do people say Ethiopian coffee tastes like? What would they describe it as? Some coffee can be spicy, sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's nutty. So how would people describe the coffee in that particular country? Okay, so you're looking at, how are the farmers treated? How would you describe the coffee, the flavor? And then is there anything interesting about coffee from that country that you can find that might be relevant to your decision? Okay, so for instance, if it's hard to export from Colombia, you need to know that. Okay, so if there's, is there anything in particular about exporting coffee from the country that you choose? Is there anything difficult, or maybe it's easy? And that would be relevant as well. So how are the farmers treated there, if you can find that? Are they treated fairly? How would people describe the flavor of the coffee in that particular country? Is it a popular place to get coffee from? And how easy or difficult would it be to export coffee from that particular country? Okay, so those are the things that you're looking for. Okay, so go ahead and take a few minutes. Make sure in your group you've decided which 3 countries you're looking at. And then do your research, and then take a few minutes and talk amongst your group about which of the 3, based on the research that each of you do. So each of you will have to talk. But based on that, tell each other about what you find and then decide on the country that you want to export from, okay? So you guys online, you may be able to hear each other if you unmute, and I can even take this off for a little bit if you'd like to talk amongst yourselves. If that's easier than going into your channel. Just let me know what you want to do, okay?
Okay, I'm really cool with whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, I can take the earpiece out for a few minutes if you guys just want to talk across the regular class channel. That's fine. But just know that it is being recorded and people are going to watch it later. So just be careful what you say, okay?
All
Because I
right.
have a couple people who aren't here who had somebody who had car trouble, so he's going to be watching it online later.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, Bobby, you want to do Papua New Guinea, Rwanda, and Guatemala?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Bobby, turn your mic off.
My bad. I thought my mic was muted.
Yeah. You're good. Bro. You're good.
Oops.
Okay, yeah, if you're this time, sort of try to go ahead and start talking with your group about which country you want to, out of the three you want to go with. Hour goes by really fast in here. We still have an hour and a half, so. Alright, so about 1 more minute, guys. Okay, I'm rejoining you guys. Nathan, Robert, you guys still with me?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right. And if you haven't made your absolute final decision, that is okay. You guys can you can definitely, when you start working in your teams, which we will be working almost exclusively in your team starting Monday. If you haven't totally decided, that's a thing you can decide on Monday as well if you're still thinking about it. So so what I want to finish up with today is the simulation itself, because you're actually going to be starting that this weekend. And so I want to make sure that everybody is clear on what you're doing. Okay, so let me share this to my online people. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so I know most of you have had a chance to get in and log in, and that's great. If you haven't, no big deal. All you have to do is go to that welcome email that you got and just, and it'll give you your username and your password, and you can get on. So that's all it is. You'll be able to do it very quickly. Once you are into the site, this is the student view. Okay, so I'm in the student view. And in order to get into the simulation, you're just going to launch that individual simulation. I'm afraid my Wi-Fi is not working very well, guys. So while it's loading, let me just tell you a little bit about what we're doing. So for the next week or so, what you're going to be doing on your own time is you're going to be playing around with the simulation. It's called like benchmark rounds or practice rounds is basically what it is. So I've set it so that you have to play 3 practice rounds, but you can actually go back and restart and do as many as you want, okay? So you have to do 3, but you can start over and do as many as you want. So you can see where it has restart 99 left, okay? So you can go back and change your decisions and change your decisions and change your decisions and see what happens. Depends on how competitive you are. If you really want to do well, if you want your team to do well when we start the competitive rounds, the more practice rounds you play, the better you're going to do because you're going to know how things affect things. And so completely up to you, but you have to do 3. Okay, so it's 3 rounds. So you have to do 1 decision by Monday, just 1. All right, so you have to play 1 practice round by Monday, 1 by the next Wednesday, and 1 by that following Monday. And that's it. That's all I'm asking for, just practicing. But you can do more if you want to, okay? So there's a video here that you can watch because I can't get any sound. I'm not gonna play that, but let's see let me show you what you would do. So if you go over here to the startup decisions, now you as a group are gonna decide on your real cafe name. But if I were doing just the practice round, I mean, I could name it like Lydia's Cafe or something, right? You can name it whatever you want because you're just playing a practice round. None of this will stick, none of it. Okay, this is all for fun and learning. So I'm just going to call it Lydia's Cafe. Okay, and then I have to make a decision on what kind of furniture I want to do and what kind of espresso maker I want to buy. So if you're like, well, I don't know, there are some resources that will help you in these decisions, and I'll show you where those are in just a second. But basically, this is why you do the practice round, is because you get to play around with this. So you could say, oh, I think I'll just try some used furniture for the first round. And I think I'm going to go with the bigger espresso maker. Okay, again, this is just for fun, so I can do whatever I want. And I'm going to save those. All right. So and this is the tour. So again, this is a great idea to do. But again, I don't have sound, so I'll have to let you do it on your own. Once your startup decisions are made, then you can get in and start making your round 1 decisions. So the different things that you're going to be doing, guys, is 1, you're going to have to decide what type of coffee to sell. Okay. So the choices are good, high, and organic. Organic is the best, but it's also going to cost you the most to buy. Okay. So don't worry. When as making these for your team, we're gonna do all this in class together. So it's gonna be based on your target market and lots of things. So don't worry about that. This is just again for you to play around with and see kind of how things go. So I think I'll just choose high for right now. You got to buy some cups. If you're gonna sell coffee, you have to have cups, right? And then this just helps you decide how much coffee to buy. So if I think I'm going to sell 950 cups that first week, then I need to buy 30.4 pounds of coffee, and I can put that in here. Okay. And, uh-oh. Guys, did I lose you on screen? Can you still see what I'm doing?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to save those. And then I'm going to go to my staffing. Okay, I'm not going to make all these today, guys, but basically all the decisions that you have to make, there are 4 screens of decisions, and you just go to each one and it'll tell you what you got to do. So I got to put in my hours. I have to say which days I want to be open. I have to decide how much to pay my employees. I have to decide what to charge for my coffee and all that. So that's why we're doing the practice rounds, is so you can just play around with this and have some fun. And there are some resources to help you understand these decisions a little bit better. Let me click out of this real quick. Under your resources here, let's see if it'll open. There is a manual, and I highly recommend at least reading the simulation case. It's really short, and it gives an overview of everything that we're doing, okay? So all you have to do for Monday with this is just go in, make one round of decisions. Now, if you want to make several, that's totally fine. You can restart it as many times as you want, 99 restarts, right? But you only have to do that once for Monday. Just go in and kind of see. This is just to see how the simulation works and play around with it. Okay? And the other thing that you're going to be doing for Monday is going to be on Connect. So on Monday, we are going to be starting to make the decisions for your real cafe. We're going to be starting kind of like the setup process for your real cafe. So you are going to be making all of the marketing decisions for your cafe on Monday as a team. So in order to get ready for that, I have a couple of short videos that I want you to watch, and I want you to answer a couple questions, and you're going to submit that back to me on Connect, so you'll be ready to work with your team on Monday. But it's going to be a lot of fun because you're going to be making the really fun decisions for your company. You're going to be deciding on your target market. You're going to be deciding on your cafe name. So it ends up being just a great time. Oh, there's the case. Okay. So it ends up being a lot of fun as you make decisions for your company and get us kind of set up for when we actually start playing the real simulation. Okay. So for Monday, then you're going to need to go on here, make one set of practice round decisions. So just play around with the simulation, get comfortable with it. That's all I'm looking for. And then also look on Connect. It's not up yet, but I'll have it up after class, and it'll say marketing. And so there's a couple videos to watch that kind of introduces the idea of marketing. And then I want you to think through a few things for your team so that when you come in Monday, you can hit the ground running and get a lot of decisions made, because now we only have an hour. So we really are going to have to move fast on Monday. Please remember where you're sitting so that you can definitely come straight to that seat on Monday, so we don't have to clean anything and move you around or anything. This is where we'll be, okay? All right, well, I'm really excited that you're here. Thank you for your patience and working with me. I'm gonna try to overcome the technical difficulties with the sound in here, but I will see you on Monday. Okay, guys, online. Do you have any questions for me before I dismiss class online?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, I think
Okay. Go ahead. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, I was just saying, I think we're all good over here.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, this is hopefully this is working for you. And if there's anything I can do to make this easier for you, if there's something that is not, you feel like you're disconnected or you're not getting what I'm saying or anything, please let me know. Okay.
Will do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. And just sorry about quarantine, guys.
It's fine.
It is what it is.
All right. I know. All right. We'll talk to you on Monday.
See ya.
All right,
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.